Lexi DIY, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing a super exciting video that I've really been wanting to make for a long time. We are going to be doing 10 renovation tips, and these are gonna all be budget friendly, they're gonna be beginner friendly, and therefore my DIY queens and kings out there, because listen, in this economy, doing a renovation, it's just a lot. As somebody who had zero money and zero experience when we bought our first fixer-upper out of necessity, because our old home was beautiful and well done, but it was not in a safe area, and the only thing we could afford in a safe area was just like absolutely wrecked. If you've seen the first Hot Mess House series, you know it's a whole thing, but we had to do things on an extremely tight budget, and I had no experience. So here's the things that saved us money, time, and the things that I kind of wish I would have known before just like jumping headfirst into a DIY renovation. Tip number one is, where the heck do you start? It can be extremely overwhelming. I remember walking into the Hot Mess House for the first time and being like, oh my gosh, everything is actually a mess, and I have no idea why I did this. I was having major regret, I was freaking out, and then I took a moment, I took myself back, and I realized, okay, we are in this now, and it ended up being the best thing ever. So don't be scared if you have that initial like shock, but a great place to start is hype yourself up, okay? Get some inspiration, make a vision board on Pinterest, and really dream as big as possible. You can always scale back your dream to meet your budget and meet what you're able to do by yourself, but I encourage you so strongly to literally dream, what could this house be, and start seeing it for what it could be and not what it is right now. So get some inspiration, and that's gonna help you get motivated to start. Another part of where to start is you want to start with projects that are simple and easy. Something that's not going to fully overwhelm you, something that you don't have to learn a bunch of new skills to do. Maybe we don't swap out a light fixture our first day in the house if we've never touched electrical. Maybe we give it a deep clean and we paint. Those things can really transform a space, and they're super affordable, which brings me to my second tip, which is paint is your best friend. Paint is really affordable, and it's pretty beginner friendly as far as actually getting the work done. Paint can take your home from outdated to into 2023 very, very quickly. If you're able to, I highly recommend, if you have a few days maybe before you have to fully be out of your old house and into your new house, or whatever the case may be, maybe your stuff is in storage, if you're able to paint before the furniture gets in and just give everything like a base layer, that is so helpful, because then later down the line you're not having to cover furniture and move everything around to paint all of your walls and your trim. So I highly recommend that if you're able to. And then definitely keep those little paint chips that are from the store. I have like a little home binder, and maybe I should do a whole nother video on this, a little home binder where I have really everything for our house, and that's including the paint colors that are on the walls in the trim of each room. That way, if maybe in a year I don't remember what the name of that color was, but I need a touch up and I'm out of the paint, I know exactly what color to get. So highly recommend doing that. But paint, it's going to transform your space, and it's super affordable. So that's the first thing that I would do if I were you. Don't get nervous when I tell you tip number 3, because it does involve electrical, but I have an option if you're not comfortable messing with electricity just yet. So tip number 3 is swap out your outlets and your light switches. A lot of fixer-uppers come with that kind of almond color. Ours came with some almond colored ones, but also some really intricate ones, which were interesting, but definitely not my style. These cost a few dollars, and you would be surprised at how much of a difference these make. Once you've painted and you have all that fresh paint, and then those like almond plates or maybe like weird discolored plates are sticking out on your walls, and you're just kind of like, oh wow, you see it. Now, For my friends who do not feel comfortable swapping out anything to do with electricity, which I completely understand, and sometimes I even use the option I'm about to show you, they actually have these plate covers. Let me show you. So these are for your outlets, and then these are for your light switches. And all that you have to do is just unscrew the cover plate on the front of your light switch or the front of your outlet and put these right over it. This is actually paintable, and I use these a lot in projects where I have an accent wall where I don't necessarily want my white plate for the outlets to stand out. So you can paint this, and that is like a huge game changer for me. For just a few dollars, and you don't even have to turn the electricity off, you can make a huge change. And that's really great for like renters too. Maybe you are like, I'm not going to be swapping out the, electrical stuff in my house for my landlord. But I don't want what's in here now. Those are a really great option. Highly, highly recommend. It's gonna make a huge change. Tip number 4 is shop for items for your renovation, like tiles, flooring, furniture, decor, in some places that maybe you wouldn't normally think to go to. A lot of times you can go to a Habitat for Humanity restore and find the most incredible items. And I actually feel like we should do a Habitat for Humanity restore like shop with me video, and I take you guys along because mine has had some incredible picks, okay? I got SALVAGE tiles, handmade tiles for $10 a box. They look so beautiful, and that was something that I probably wouldn't have been able to afford to tile that wall in the laundry room if I didn't find them like technically secondhand and get a great deal on them. Another wonderful place that you can look is salvage stores. We have a salvage store here in New Jersey called Turn 7, and oftentimes they have literally like kitchen sinks and flooring and just a bunch of different stuff, and it's way under what retail it would cost. And then of course, check Facebook Marketplace. Create alerts on Facebook Marketplace for items that you're looking for, and then you're gonna be alerted when somebody uploads something that they're selling and it matches your description, and check it often. Make sure to check those kinds of places because you can really save a lot of money and find some really amazing and unique stuff. Tip number 5 is you're gonna wanna swap out that lighting. A lot of builder grade homes come with the dreaded boob light. And if you're not even 100% comfortable taking down the light and rewiring it, they really have some awesome kits that I'll throw in the description below that actually just convert it to look like a flush mount light, but you don't have to rewire anything. They're absolutely incredible. And they actually make them for bathroom vanity lights as well. And I'm actually thinking about using one for my upcoming bathroom renovation that I'm gonna do. So I'll definitely keep you updated on that. That's going to fully change the vibe of your space. Lighting is so super key. Tip number 6 is upgrade your existing doors. A lot of homes, a lot of fixer-uppers are gonna come with these just standard flat panel doors. And even if your doors are a little bit more intricate, but maybe they're just not quite your style, there's a lot of things that you can do to just update those doors so you don't have to buy new ones. I was actually considering buying all new doors for the bedrooms and bathrooms and things like that in this house until I realized that the doors I liked were literally like $250 a piece. And with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a door to the laundry room, that was just not going to work for me budget-wise. And they don't even come with handles, which oh my goodness, that was just so much. So instead of paying like $300 for each door, I got some trim for around $15 and I cut it with my miter shear, so I didn't even have to use any power tools for that. I did use a brad nailer to put on the trim, but if you're not comfortable using power tools just yet, that's totally fine. You can use something like a construction adhesive, Loctite or Gorilla Glue, something like that to put put your trim on, so don't worry if the nail gun scares you. I got a new doorknob, I painted it, and I also got new hinges. So for around $50, I completely changed the look of my door, and that's a lot better than spending $300. Tip number 7 is we are gonna swap out that hardware, and I mean pulls for cabinets and also some knobs, hinges, different things like that can really change a space for literally just a few dollars, and it's super easy to do, especially if you're getting the same exact size. So do make sure that you measure, but generally it's very simple. All you have to do is just unscrew some screws on the back to take the old hardware off. You put the new hardware on and screw some screws. It'll take you like 2 minutes, and it's super affordable. I highly recommend going through like Amazon, or you can even pick them up at Habitat for Humanity sometimes and different places like that. It's a lot more affordable than the hardware store. You can always spray paint your knobs and things like that to give them a new life and update them without even purchasing a whole set of, you know, new handles and knobs and things like that. Tip number 8 is if you find something on sale and you know you're going to use it for your renovation, buy it. Now, of course, that comes at a caveat. Sometimes we don't have the extra cash on hand, and that's totally fine. But maybe you're out shopping for one project. Like I was out shopping to get some furniture at Habitat for Humanity when I actually found those tiles. And I let them sit in my garage for like 3 months, but I knew I was not going to be $10 a box on handmade Zalige tiles. So I was like, I am gonna pick these up while I can because they might be gone tomorrow. That's especially, you know, the case when you're shopping at like a Habitat for Humanity or like a Facebook Marketplace, because, you know, those things are not guaranteed to stay in stock. You can find some really good deals from the hardware stores on some larger things like faucets and vanities and toilets and different things like that. So maybe you're not ready to do your renovation project yet, but it's on sale and you know that there's no way you're gonna get a better deal, then I would highly recommend, if you have the space to store it and you have the extra cash, it's gonna end up saving you money in the long run, so pick it up if you can. Tip number 9 is sell your old furniture and decor and even excess renovation materials that you're not going to be using to fund your renovation. Like I said in tip number 8, sometimes I pick up things that I think I'm gonna use later down the line because they're a really great deal, but maybe my vision for the room has changed a little bit and that doesn't work anymore, so now I don't have anywhere to put that tile. My suggestion is always go and sell it on Facebook Marketplace, because like you guys are looking for deals and trying to find stuff secondhand to save money, you can also make money to fund your renovation that way. Maybe you're just not vibing with the furniture that you bought 5 years ago. It doesn't mean that it's out of style, it just means it's not your style anymore, and somebody can still use that and are definitely willing to, you know, pay for it, which is great because that can help you make the space that you really want without also putting, you know, your old decor and furniture into the landfill, and they'll have a new life with somebody else. My final tip number 10 is do it yourself. I know that this might seem very like obvious. When we started, I didn't know how to use a drill. I didn't know how to lay a floor. I did not know how to swap a light fixture. I didn't know how to do any of that. And it was my willingness to learn, because you can find anything on YouTube right here, YouTube University. I watched a bunch of tutorials from other creators, and that was so helpful. And about like 75% of most renovation costs, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure are labor. Labor is expensive because, you know, you're paying for people's time and expertise. So if you're willing to learn a new skill, to watch some YouTube videos, to, you know, mess up, and that's okay if you do. You're gonna learn along the way. You can save so much money by just doing it yourself and also asking for help. Ask for help. Ask your community for help. You know, I was getting so much help from people on TikTok and YouTube videos when I started posting, because I would just say, hey guys, I've never done this before. Does, you know, any electrician have any advice for me? Or does, you know, a painter have any advice for me? Does somebody who lays tile or flooring, do you have any advice for me? And people were so incredibly nice to give me tips. So don't be afraid to do it yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because the community will be behind you, and my comment section is always open for questions about renovations. Although that was all the tips I have for this video, I have so many more and a lot more experience to share. So if you guys want to see anything in particular, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I'd really be happy to do tutorials on how to use drills and different power tools for beginners, and how to, you know, do different things that I've learned along the way. So if there's something specific you'd like to see, make sure that you drop it in the comment section below. And also, make sure that you're subscribed. Like, over half of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe and ring that bell notification so that you never miss when I upload next. And I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.